Hello, everyone. This is Lady Treasure. Welcome to Penny Lane. My path leaders and friends. I call you path leaders because you are parents, academic leaders, teachers, and homeschoolers. And I want you to be my friends. I'm here trying to invite you to be a part of my community here at Penny Lane. Penny Lane is the nostalgic name that I gave my family edutainment company because I lived on a street called Wall Avenue and my favorite aunt's name is Penny. So I just put those together and named my company that. And why do I have a company called Penny Lane Family Edutainment Company? Because I am a professional edutainer. I inspire, educate, and entertain children through children's books. Some of these behind me are also written by me. I am currently the author of 50 completed children's books, written and illustrated because I used AI last year. And I'm currently working on 3 hand-drawn because I illustrate is just an entirely different style of art. I do a modern, abstract, corny, flat 2D comic art. I like it, and children have liked it over the years, but it's totally different from what I'm doing with AI. Anyway, I write children's books, I write songs, I plan special entertainment for children. I love them, they're my life. I want this to just be my legacy that I leave with my children, grandchildren, and now new great granddaughter. But I also want total strangers to know that if you never buy a book I write, I'm creating toys. I've already designed one, still in China, and I will find out all about it's a reputable company and everything. Don't worry, I checked all that out. The final specs, and if you come to Penny Lane and see what I'm up to, you'll see what I'm working on. But my conversation is to talk to you. And from my side, and then I want you to comment, talk back, and I want you to tell me if you agree or disagree. I also want you to give me some insight as to what you would really like to see on YouTube for your children. You don't have to accept things just because that's all you have found. Some of us, educational leaders, edutainment leaders, want to know what parents are thinking right now and how we can better serve you. That's what I want to do here at Penny Lane. So I'm going to bring my 51 years of experience and real talks. While I'm working on a creative project, I'll share it with you. And right now I'm doing a 20 Real Talk series about raising happy children, and we are on number 7. And the subject is keep them. Oh no, not keep them. Keep the wonder. Keep the wonder. I love this. I told you what my background is. I told you what I'm doing. I told you why I'm here. And I invite you to engage with me. Let's talk about this. You can comment, share your feelings. I hope you will. Why do I say keep the wonder? I'm so passionate about this. I have heard old folks like me and older say silly, ridiculous things like, just go in the other room, grown-ups talking in here. There may be grown-up conversations they don't need to be in the room for sometimes, but that can't be the rule every time. They increase their vocabulary by listening to adults talk. Did you ever think of that? Okay, sometimes there are conversations they shouldn't be in the room for. Of course, it's too serious, too important. All right, but every time, no. There is something going on. I always say emerging. There's emerging curriculum, something happening in that little brain all the time. Motor skills are developing, brains are developing, nervous system developing, emotional learning is going on. There's something real big in the educational world right now called SEL. It wasn't the term we used years ago, but I've always taught social emotional learning. When I wrote a song about not being a bully, that's social emotional learning. And of course, they have to learn that kind of stuff. But they learn things from listening to adults talk. They learn things from exploring things that you might be completely bored with, uninterested, or you might think worms are disgusting and you don't want them in your house. But you might have a budding little scientist there and you need to relax and make a safe opportunity. Maybe have a back porch or a place where things can be dirty, or if you insist, keep them outside. I am all about inviting the child, whatever child, whomever, wherever I am. Don't even let me visit your house. I am all about whatever they're into. If they're already into it and they got a whole bunch of toys about it, I'm going to do my best. These days, I don't sit on the floor very well, but I'm going to get the lowest seat I can down there, and I'm all into it with them. Because I know that the strength of my adult personage just reinforced something that was important to them when I asked about it, when I looked at it, when I wanted to engage with them. I just reinforced. I put some concrete. I put something solid under that. And now the wonder that they have about that scientific thing, that STEM thing, that math thing, or that trick that they learn, magic trick or something, or that artistic thing, that creative, they just tried it. They just sound crazy in the made up song. I got a granddaughter that's 100% my child. She's been creating songs since I don't know what age. She's just making up stuff and singing and la 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 all over the house all the time. All the time, all the time. And both parents, oh, I'm so proud of them. They completely leave her the room and they reinforce it. What are you singing about? Little one, I won't say her name. What, and they get into it. That's good, because that is saying to her, your song is important to mom. Your song is important to dad. They're real good parents. I'm so blessed with my children and my grandchildren. And I know that I've been around grouchy parents and adults who just not in the mood to hear the la la la. Child, get on away from here with that. Really? I need you to get on away from here with that. I meant that. I'd like you to leave the room. Because wonder is trying to happen here. Did you hear what I just said to you? So mean. But I'm serious. Okay, you don't want them in the living room. They can't have the wonder going on in the living room. Then please go in their room and reinforce it. Whatever you do, take the strength of your character, your person, how tall you are, how important you are to them, and your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, you're the nanny, you're the adult, and you think that they're totally made up village out of tissue paper and scotch tape and popsicle sticks is the most amazing thing you've ever seen? How do you know? Tell me, talk back to me. How do you know you didn't just reinforce an emerging moment in a budding engineer? You don't. That's what I'm going to tell you. You do not know what you interrupted when you refuse to consider that that little pile of what looks like junk might be something really special to them. Make it a big deal. That's why we have put things on the refrigerator, behind magnets, collected art. Right here in my studio, here in my little space in France, I have some artwork. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can just see 6, 7, 8. And I know there's 9, 10. There's 11 and there's one in my room. There's 12 items I know about right now off the top of my head that came from one little girl at church because I put them on display. She's been here twice. She doesn't come here all the time. They're not on display for her. They're on display for me because I think she is important. So the art that she took the time to do and bring to me to church, unsolicited, not my birthday, not a holiday, nothing. She was thinking of me, whatever was happening in her day, and she made it for me. So her art is important. You better believe it. I had a young lady. I love to share stories because I've had a lot of years at this and I always have some cool stories. She loved dance so much. And wish I could remember her name right now because usually I do. I can't think of her name right now. But she was in, I can't even think of the city, but I know what she loved and I know how I reinforced it. She loved dance. And she was a part of a program or something I was doing. I loved her, she loved me, we got along, she enjoyed the events or whatever I was doing. Well, she had a Oklahoma, all right, and then in a minute, oh boy, I'm gonna think of that. I'm gonna think of that first name. she loved to dance, and a whole year went by, and I hadn't seen her. I saw her a little bit. She was helping me with some puppies, and her parents were into dogs too. And then she was gone for a few months, and suddenly I got an invitation to a recital in the middle of her world. This is a little popular kid in a happy community with a big family and totally supportive, totally cool mom and dad. She didn't need no extra people added to the village because she was wanting. She just loved Miss Treasure, and she knew Miss Treasure loved her. And so she wanted me to see her recital. You better believe, I don't care what was going on in my schedule, I went to that recital. And I did not often get in the car and drive downtown and go and find a parking garage and do that. Just lazy with stuff like that, kind of spoiled, because my husband would be the one who would find out all of that stuff and drive me. Isn't that pitiful? I really hate this particular braid issue tonight. Anyway, but honey, I went through that to be there for her. And my seat was way up somewhere. And I don't like those particular parts. I love the theater. I'm a theater girl. But I don't like that particular part of the theater because a little vertigo thing started happening as I got older. And so I did all I could to stay, and I made sure by checking in with her parents and teachers that she was finished and she wasn't coming back on, because I didn't want to stay for all of the rest of the recital performances because it was multiple classes doing separate recitals. I wanted to be there for her. And as soon as I knew she was done, I wanted to physically see her and make sure she knew that I was there. So I waited, because when her part was done, they informed me of the section. Listen how far I took it now. I'm not bragging about me. I'm just telling you what I'm genuinely all about and what everybody ought to do for every child that we want to keep wonder in. I waited. In the section, they told me her recital group was assigned to sit in when they were finished, so they would watch the rest of the show. And there I was sitting when she came with her group, and her eyes were huge when she saw Miss Treasure. I'm just one lady that she met because of puppies, and her parents and I stayed in touch. And wow, she was so happy to see me, and I was so proud of her. She actually was a really good dancer, and I think this was like her third recital. She wasn't an amateur, honey. She's a little professional. And it meant a lot to her that I reinforced, along with her parents and others, her love for dance. I've been doing that for real, in real time, with real children. And as long as their parents let me know about it, I've been there, or shared on the phone, or did something online, something to let them know I'm so proud of you. I have relationships that span over a long period of time, that those children are now older, but I don't most of the time get to ever see them again. But I tell you one thing, I guarantee you this, they remember Miss Treasure. And why? Because whatever they were in wonder about, I wondered with them. You don't have to be corny like me. You don't have to be an inspirational edutainer like me. You don't have to write children's books or write songs. You're just mom, you're dad. You're the greatest wonder in their life. And how you will reinforce their little hearts when you make a big deal. Now, I'm probably preaching to the choir. Most of you probably already do this. I'm going to say, well done. I want to encourage you to keep it up. And I want to reinforce and let you know it goes very deep and it lasts their lifetime. I can still remember my mother died at 82, 3 years ago. But I can still remember pretty much every compliment my mother gave me to my talents, abilities, recitals. I did a lot of performing arts as a kid. And my mom was a singer, and so was my dad. So they were all about it. I remember it all. I remember it all. I'm certain it's a part of why I am who I am and doing what I do. My mother loved telling stories about her. She was all about encouraging you to be unique. She's perfect to bring up as I close out. This real talk about keeping the wonder if you want to raise a happy child. She said, be uniquely you. Nobody can be you but you, so do you really well. She always said that a lot, a lot, a lot. Before all the gurus were saying it, before all the positive mental attitude stuff was talked about, and that was my mom's everyday language. We weren't allowed to say the words I can't in our household. She was just a positive type of inspirational lady. But one of the most important things that she reinforced was my emerging ideas of things that they didn't last long. But she didn't lose her patience with that. I wanted to learn piano, so she got me piano lessons. I didn't follow through. I didn't have a gift for it. I definitely didn't have the discipline, so I didn't finish, but she still let me do it. And because I didn't finish, she could have said no when I wanted to learn guitar. But instead, she bought a guitar and she let me try that. I actually tried harder on that because I was into it, but I just didn't have it. I'm gonna tell you, I'm so musical. I hear songs in everything all the time without AI tools. I write the melody, I write the lyrics. I can hear a whole orchestra in my head, but I cannot play an instrument. I'm serious. A kazoo, maybe? A tambourine? No, I'm not. I just can't play an instrument. But my mother didn't give up. She saw that I loved the arts and she encouraged it. Now, just so you know, she encouraged writing, and I'm still writing at 68 years old. She encouraged drawing and art, and I do all kinds of other arts and crafts, and I illustrate some of my own children's books. And she certainly, the whole family of singers, encouraged singing, and I'm still singing and writing songs. So 3 out of 5 ain't bad, Mom. No piano and no guitar, but these three are still holding. Oh, there's a fourth one, so there's 4 out of 6. I loved acting at the time and dance, everything to do with theater. And I don't dance, and I'm not interested in acting at all. But I do voiceover for my own channels and anything to do with the arts. I write plays, you know what I'm saying? So it sticks, it lasts, it matters, it's encouraging, and you don't know what one thing will lead to the other. Sometimes you'll encourage a child in the area of the arts and they'll still end up interested in science and math, but this self-expression freedom gave them confidence on the stage and helped towards their confidence in research and science. You don't know which thing is going to overlap the other thing. Come on, this is good real talk, right? Come on, comment, let me know how you feel. I feel good about this, telling you, just keep the wonder going. And in addition to what they're already showing interest in, take them places to introduce them to new things. That's why schools have field trips. That's why teachers bring in guest speakers. And people come into daycare, same reason. Do that also as mom and dad. Take them places to explore new experiences. Introduce them to people that don't look like them. This is important stuff. So I think that's enough for now. I could talk about all these things to do with children pretty much on countless hours, but I'm going to keep it to 15. And this time I went to 18. I got to stop. I will see you next time right here on Penny Lane.